My child, listen carefully. This moment is not for everyone. Out of countless people, out of endless noise and distractions, you are the one who opened this. Do you understand what that means? This is not luck the way the world defines it. This is something deeper, something intentional. You were led here. Do not brush this off. Do not tell yourself this is just another message. Something unseen aligned this exact moment for you. While others kept scrolling, while others ignored the quiet pull, something within you stopped, and that is where everything begins. My child, only the chosen ones pause long enough to hear me. Only the ones whose hearts are searching, even in their exhaustion, are brought into moments like this. And right now, whether you realize it or not, your spirit recognized something your mind cannot yet explain. That quiet feeling in your chest, that stillness that suddenly came over you, that is not random. This moment is calling you for a reason. You have been moving through life carrying more than anyone knows. Smiling when you feel like breaking. Staying strong when your soul feels tired. Trying to make sense of things that never gave you clear answers. And somewhere deep inside, you started to wonder if anything was truly meant for you anymore. But look at you, you are still here. My child, that is not an accident. Out of all the voices you could have listened to, you are here, hearing this. Out of all the paths you could have taken today, you arrive at this exact point. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. That is a quiet whisper from something greater than you, guiding you when you didn't even realize you were being guided. And I need you to understand this now, because what is about to unfold in your life cannot be received by someone who believes they are here by chance. You are not here by chance. You are here because something is trying to reach you before it is too late. Something is trying to remind you of who you are before the world convinces you otherwise. Something is trying to pull you out of the heaviness you have been silently drowning in. My child, only the lucky ones open this, but the truth is, you are not just lucky. You are chosen. And this message, this very moment, is the beginning of something you did not expect, but desperately need. So stay with me, because what comes next you cannot afford to miss. Stop right here, do not scroll away. My child, I am asking you with urgency. Pause everything for a moment and stay with me. Do not let your eyes move past this. Do not let your mind drift somewhere else. This is not the kind of moment you can leave and return to later expecting it to feel the same. Something is happening right now, and if you rush past it, you may miss what was meant to reach you in this exact second. Take a breath. Slow down. And listen. Because this concerns you more than you realize. You have been here before, moments where something inside you whispered, "Stay, this is important," but you ignored it. You told yourself you would come back later. You let distractions pull you away. You let your thoughts overpower the quiet pull in your spirit. And every time, something slipped past you, something that could have shifted things sooner. But this moment, this one is different. You can feel it, can't you? There is a weight to these words, a stillness forming around you, a quiet interruption that does not feel ordinary. That is because it is not ordinary. This is not just another message passing through your day. This is something placed directly in your path, something you were meant to stop for. And I need you to honor that. My child, do not treat this like everything else you scroll past. Do not rush through this like it holds no value. If you do, you will walk away with the same heaviness you came here with. The same unanswered questions. The same confusion sitting quietly in your heart. And I do not want that for you. That is why I am asking you now, stay. Stay longer than you usually would. Stay even if your mind tells you to move on. Stay even if part of you feels uncomfortable with the stillness. Because what is being placed before you right now is not random. There are things you have been searching for, answers you have been waiting on, peace you have been trying to feel again. And this moment is connected to all of it in a way you cannot yet fully see. But you must remain present to receive it. Do not let your thoughts pull you away. They will try. They will tell you this is nothing. They will tell you to come back later. They will remind you of everything else you could be doing right now. But beneath all of that noise there is a quieter voice inside you saying, "Wait, this matters." Listen to that voice. My child, I am not asking for everything from you. I am not asking for perfection. I am not asking for hours of your time. I'm asking for this moment, your attention, your willingness to stay. Because you have been running for so long. Running from one task to another. From one thought to another. From one distraction to the next. And in that constant movement, you have missed the moments where something real tries to reach you. This is one of those moments, and it will not force you to stay. You must choose it. You must choose to be still. You must choose to listen. Because there is something approaching your life, something you have been praying for without even realizing how close it is. And if you continue moving the way you always have, distracted and distant, you may not recognize it when it arrives. That is why this pause matters. That is why your attention matters. That is why I am speaking to you with urgency now. My child, do not rush past what can change the direction of your heart. Do not ignore what could finally bring clarity to the confusion you have been carrying. Do not treat this like just another passing moment, because it is not. This is a doorway, and you are standing right in front of it. Stay with me, because what comes next you cannot afford to miss. My child, I see you in ways no one else does. I see the weight you've been carrying behind your silence. I see the moments when you smiled just to avoid explaining what was really going on inside you. I see the nights when everything slowed down, and suddenly all the thoughts you tried to escape came rushing back. The overthinking, the questions, the quiet pain you never put into words. You have been tired not just physically, but deep within your soul. Tired of trying, tired of hoping, tired of holding everything together when it feels like everything inside you is slowly falling apart. And the hardest part is that no one truly noticed. My child, you learned how to hide it so well. You became strong for everyone else. You became the one people rely on, the one who listens, the one who keeps going no matter what. But inside you've been running on empty for longer than you want to admit. There were moments when you questioned everything. Moments when you wondered if you were enough. If you were doing life right. If all the effort you've been putting in would ever lead to something meaningful. And in those moments, you felt alone. Even when you were surrounded by people, you still felt like no one truly understood what you were carrying inside. You tried to explain it, but the words never felt right. So instead, you stayed quiet. You kept it to yourself. You convinced yourself that you just needed to push through it. But my child, I saw it all. I saw the disappointment you tried to ignore. I saw the rejection that stayed with you longer than you expected. I saw the way certain words, certain moments, certain people left marks on your heart that you never fully healed from. You told yourself you were over it, but deep down, it still hurt. And then came the confusion. Not knowing what direction to take. Not knowing why things weren't working out the way you hoped. Not understanding why doors kept closing when you were trying your best to move forward. It made you question everything, even yourself. You started wondering if maybe you were the problem. If maybe you weren't good enough. If maybe you were meant to struggle like this. But my child, that is not the truth. You have just been carrying too much for too long. You have been fighting battles in silence that were never meant to be fought alone. You have been holding emotions inside that were meant to be released, understood, and healed, not buried and ignored. And because of that, your heart has grown tired. Your spirit has grown quiet. Your mind has become heavy. You kept going. Yes, but not because you were okay. You kept going because you didn't know what else to do. And even now part of you feels unsure. Unsure if anything can really change. Unsure if this moment is truly different. Unsure if what you're feeling right now is real or just temporary. But my child, that uncertainty, that hesitation, that quiet doubt, I see that too. And I do not turn away from it. I understand why you feel this way. You've been let down before. You've trusted before and felt disappointed. You've believed that things would change and they didn't, at least not in the way you expected. So now, you protect yourself. You hold back. You question everything before allowing yourself to believe again. But even with all of that, even with the exhaustion, the confusion, the loneliness, and the quiet pain you carry, you are still here. And that matters more than you realize. Because it means something inside you is not given up. Something inside you is still searching, still hoping, still holding on even if it feels weak. My child, I see you. Not the very unusual of the world, but the real you. And you are not alone in this, not now, not anymore. My child, listen closely, because what you have been calling pain, what you have been calling loss, what you have been calling delay was never meant to destroy you, and was shaping you. I know it didn't feel that way when you were in the middle of it. I know when things didn't work out, when people walked away, when doors closed without explanation, it felt like rejection. It felt like you were being pushed back, held down, left behind while others moved forward. But what you could not see then was what I was protecting you from. That door that closed, it was not meant for your future. That connection that broke, it was not aligned with where you are being led. The delay that frustrated you, it was creating space for something better, something stronger, something you were not yet ready to receive at that time. My child, you were never being punished. You were being redirected. Every moment that made you question your worth, every situation that made you feel overlooked, every outcome that didn't match your expectations, it was not the end of your story. It was a shift, a necessary shift, because where you were going required a version of you that had to be built through those very moments. I know you didn't understand why things had to be so hard. I know you wondered why it felt like you had to struggle more than others, why things didn't come easily, why you had to face rejection, confusion, and setbacks again and again. But my child, nothing you went through was wasted. Not a single tear, not a single sleepless night, not a single moment where you felt like giving up. It all carried meaning even when it felt meaningless. That heartbreak you experienced, it softened parts of your heart that needed to feel deeper. That disappointment, it taught you to see beyond what looks good on the surface. That waiting season, it strengthened your patience in ways you didn't realize were necessary. And those moments when everything felt silent, when you felt like nothing was happening, that was where the most important work was being done inside you. You were being prepared. Prepared to see differently. Prepared to choose differently. Prepared to walk into something greater without repeating the same patterns that once held you back. My child, if everything had worked out the way you wanted back then, you would not be who you are right now. You would have settled for less than what is meant for you. You would have stayed in places that would have drained you. You would have continued walking paths that were never meant to lead you to where you truly belong. So what felt like loss was actually protection. What felt like rejection was actually redirection. What felt like delay was actually preparation. And now when you look back, even if it still hurts a little, there is a part of you that knows things could not have happened any other way. because you are not the same person you were before. You see things differently now. You feel things more deeply. You recognize what you deserve and what you no longer want to accept. And that change did not come easily. It came through everything you endured. My child, you were never forgotten in those moments. Even when it felt like nothing was moving, everything was being arranged. Every step you took, even the uncertain ones, were still leading you forward. Even when you felt lost, you were still being guided. And now, you are standing in a place where your past is no longer something that controls you, it is something that prepared you. Prepared you for this moment. Prepared you for what is coming next. So do not look back with regret. Do not carry the weight of what could have been. Because what is meant for you could not have been missed. It was always going to find you at the right time and the right way when you were ready to receive it. And my child, that time is closer than you think. My child, listen to me very carefully now, because something is coming. This is not just another moment where you read and move on. This is not just another feeling that fades away after a few minutes. There is a shift happening right now, and whether you fully understand it or not, your spirit can already sense it. That uneasiness, that quiet pressure, that feeling that something is about to change, it is not random. Do not ignore this, because this moment, this exact moment, carries more weight than you realize. You have been living in a pattern for a long time, a cycle of trying, waiting, getting tired, and then trying again. A cycle of hoping things would change, but never fully seeing the breakthrough you were expecting. And slowly, without even noticing, you started settling into that pattern, accepting less than what your heart truly desired, convincing yourself that maybe this is just how life is supposed to be. But my child, that cycle is about to be broken. And that is why this moment feels different. That is why there is a tension in the air, a quiet urgency pressing against your spirit, to sense that you cannot keep going the same way anymore. Because you cannot. Time is not as open as you think. You cannot keep delaying the things your heart has been trying to tell you. You cannot keep ignoring the moments that are meant to wake you up. You cannot keep choosing distraction when something deeper is trying to reach you. Every time you push it aside, every time you say later, every time you choose comfort over awareness, you move further away from what is trying to find you. And right now, something is trying to find you. Something important. Something you have been waiting for, even if you could not put it into words. But it requires you to be present. It requires you to stay awake in this moment, to not drift, to not fall back into the same habits that kept you stuck before. Because the truth is, you have been here before. You have felt moments where something inside you said, "This is it, this is where things change," but you hesitated. You doubted. You overthought. You let fear speak louder than your intuition. And just like that, the moment passed and you were left wondering what could have happened if you had just stayed. But this time you cannot let that happen again. This time the stakes are higher. The call is louder. The shift is closer. My child, something is aligning in your life right now that you cannot yet see with your eyes, but your spirit is already responding to it. Opportunities are forming. Doors are preparing to open. Paths are being cleared in ways you do not yet understand. But if you remain distracted, if you remain unaware, if you continue to move the way you always have, you may not recognize it when it arrives. And that is why I am speaking to you with urgency. Not to scare you, but to wake you. Because you have slept through too many important moments already. You have allowed doubt to silence your instincts. You have allowed fear to delay your steps. You have allowed comfort to keep you in places that no longer serve you. And now you are being called to do something different. To pay attention. To listen. To respond. My child, this is not just a message, this is a warning wrapped in care. Something is coming and it will require a different version of you. A more aware version. A more present version. A version of you that does not run when things start to feel real. You cannot afford to stay the same. You cannot afford to ignore this. You cannot afford to walk away again. Because this moment right now is preparing you for what is next. And what is next will not wait for you to be ready. You must choose to be ready now. Not later. Not when it feels easier. Not when everything makes sense. Now. So stay with me, my child. Do not let this moment pass like the others. Because what is unfolding around you, what is beginning to take shape in your life, is something you cannot afford to miss. My child, this moment right here is not like the others you have passed by before. This is not just another pause. This is not just another message you happen to read. This is a turning point, a quiet but powerful line between who you have been and who you are about to become. And I need you to understand this deeply. You were brought here. Not by accident. Not by chance. Not by random timing. You were guided here because something within you is finally ready to hear what it could not hear before. Think about it. How many times have you seen things like this and ignored them? How many times did you feel a small pull in your heart but you kept scrolling anyway? How many times did life feel too loud, too overwhelming, too distracting for you to stop and truly listen? But this time you stopped. This time something inside you said, wait. That was not coincidence. That was alignment. My child, this is your moment to respond. Not later. Not when you feel stronger. Not when everything in your life is finally in order. Now, because readiness does not come from perfection. It does not come from having everything figured out. It comes from your willingness to stay, your willingness to listen, your willingness to open your heart even when you feel uncertain. And right now you are standing at that exact place. A place where you can either return to your old patterns or step into something new. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet pull inside your chest, that sense that something is asking more from you, that awareness that you cannot keep going the same way anymore, that is not pressure, that is calling. My child, this moment is your invitation. An invitation to release what has been weighing you down for so long. An invitation to stop carrying everything alone. An invitation to finally move forward, not in fear but in trust. But understand this, an invitation means nothing if you do not accept it. You cannot stay where you are and expect your life to change. You cannot keep thinking the same thoughts, holding on to the same fears, repeating the same habits and expect a different outcome. Something must shift. And that shift begins now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Because this is where your life begins to turn. Not in some perfect future. Not when all your questions are answered. But in this exact moment where you choose to respond differently. My child, this is your divine appointment. A moment that was set aside for you long before you even realized you needed it. A moment where everything slows down just enough for you to hear what has been trying to reach you all along. And now that you are here, you must not treat it lightly. Because moments like this, they do not force themselves on you. They wait for you to recognize them. They wait for you to respond. So I ask you now, what will you do with this moment? Will you walk away like before? Will you return to the same patterns, the same distractions, the same heaviness? Or will you choose differently this time? Will you stay present even when your mind wants to wander? Will you listen deeply even when part of you feels unsure? Will you allow something inside you to shift even if it feels unfamiliar? Because this right here is where everything begins to change. Not loudly, not all at once, but deeply, quietly, powerfully. This is where your breakthrough starts to take root. This is where your healing begins to unfold. This is where your path starts to realign in ways you cannot yet fully see. But it all depends on one thing: your yes. Not a perfect yes. Not a confident yes. Just a willing yes. A small, quiet decision inside your heart that says, I am ready to stop running. My child, this moment matters more than you understand. Do not rush past it. Do not ignore it. Do not treat it like something you can come back to later. Because this is the beginning, and beginnings must be chosen. My child, if you are still here, if you have stayed through every word, every feeling, every moment of this, then listen to me closely now. Something has already begun inside you. You may not fully understand it yet. You may not be able to explain why your heart feels different, why your thoughts feel quiet, or why something inside you feels stirred in a way you cannot ignore. But this is how it starts. This is how your breakthrough begins, not loudly, not all at once, but deeply, quietly, powerfully. You are not the same person you were a few moments ago. Something has shifted. Something has opened. And that matters more than you realize. My child, hear me clearly now. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not too late. All the things you believed about yourself, all the lies that told you nothing would change, all the doubts that made you question your path, they are beginning to lose their hold on you. And in their place, something new is rising. But clarity, direction, peace. You have been waiting for change, asking for answers, longing for something to finally move in your life. And now I tell you, it is already beginning. Even if you cannot see it yet, even if you cannot fully feel it yet, it has started. My child, there is healing coming into your life. Not surface healing, not temporary relief, but deep healing. The kind that reaches the parts of you that you stopped talking about. The wounds you covered up. The pain you learned to live with. The emotions you buried because they felt too heavy to face. Those places, they are about to be touched, and they will not remain the same. There is clarity coming. The confusion that has been clouding your mind, the overthinking that kept you stuck, the questions that never seemed to have answers, they will begin to fade. You will start to see things with new understanding. You will begin to realize why certain things had to happen the way they did, and it will make sense. There is restoration coming. Things that felt broken will not stay broken. Things that felt empty will not stay empty. Things that felt delayed will not stay delayed. What you thought was lost is not lost. It was being prepared for the right moment, for the right version of you for now. My child, this is not false hope. This is movement. This is alignment. This is the beginning of everything you have been waiting for, even when you didn't know how to ask for it. But now I need something from you. Not perfection. Not strength. Not certainty. I need your response. Because this moment, this shift, this beginning, it requires your agreement. You cannot stay silent anymore. You cannot hold back like before. You cannot doubt and expect to receive at the same time. You must respond. So right now in this moment, I want you to say it. Type it. Declare it with your heart, not just your words. Amen. Or say, I believe. Do not overthink it. Do not hesitate. This is not about anyone else seeing it. This is about you stepping into alignment with what is already happening in your life. My child, your words carry power. Your response opens something. Your willingness creates movement. When you declare it, when you speak it, when you acknowledge what your spirit is already feeling, you are not just reacting, you are stepping into your breakthrough. Do not miss this moment. Do not stay quiet. Do not shrink back into doubt. Step forward, even if it feels small, even if your voice feels uncertain, even if part of you is still questioning. Step forward anyway. because everything is already shifting. Doors are beginning to open. Paths are beginning to clear. Things are moving behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. And all of it is connected to this moment. So respond, my child. Claim it. Receive it. Because your life is not about to stay the same. Something is changing. Something is healing. Something is beginning. And this time you are ready to receive it. My child, do not ignore this moment. Do not walk away from this like you have done before, not this time. Because what you felt here, what stirred inside you, what quietly shifted in your heart, it was real. And moments like this do not come again and again in the same way. They come when your spirit is ready, when your heart is open, when something greater knows you are close to change. And that is where you are right now. Close. Closer than you have ever been. But this is also where many turn back. This is where doubt tries to return. This is where your mind begins to question what your heart just felt. This is where distraction comes back stronger, trying to pull you away before the shift completes itself. My child, do not let that happen. Stay connected to this feeling. Stay connected to this moment. Because what has started in you must be protected. You may not see everything yet. You may not understand everything yet. But something has already been set into motion. And if you walk away carelessly, if you fall back into the same patterns, you will delay what is already trying to reach you. Not lose it, but delay it. And you have waited long enough. My child, I am with you. Not just in this moment, but beyond it. In the silence that follows. In the thoughts that return. In the choices you make after this. Do not forget what you felt here. Do not silence it. Do not replace it with noise. Because this is only the beginning. Something is unfolding in your life right now that you cannot yet fully see, but very soon you will begin to notice the signs. Small changes. New clarity. Unexpected peace. And when it happens, you will remember this moment. You will remember that this was where it started. So stay aware. Stay open. Stay ready. Because what is coming next will reveal everything. My child, as this message settles into your heart, understand this: every seed you help sow becomes a light in someone else's darkness. When you give, you are not supporting a channel, you are opening doors for souls to find healing, truth, and divine connection. Just as it is written, give, and it will be given to you, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not just a verse, this is a living promise speaking over you right now. I am placing this invitation in your heart for a reason. When you feel the pull to support, that is not coincidence, that is your spirit responding. Your seed becomes part of a greater harvest reaching hearts you may never see, but heaven records every act. The PayPal link is placed in each video description, and even within the QR code you see, these are not just links, they are gateways for you to take part in something eternal. Do not hesitate when your heart feels moved. Step into this moment. Sow your seed. And watch how what you release returns to you multiplied in ways you cannot imagine. Thou act.